Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent, close to my heart maker, and today I am joining my CTMH Twisted Sisters for the kickoff of the brand new March-April 2022 catalog. And I will be twisting up the #1 fan stamp and thin cut set, specifically this pull and pendant that comes in that set. And I'm also going to be using the In Full Bloom paper pack and sticker sheet and the mix-in paper pack and giving it a feel that is totally not spring flowery as well. I'm using the Make It From the Heart Volume 5. I believe it's sketch 13, and I am putting it upside down, and I'm replacing those circles with the pendants across the top of my page. So here we go. I've already cut out the various pieces and prepped most things, but I want to show you how I cut these poles from the thin cut. You will notice that it's kind of a short pole, and I wanted it to be almost 12 inches long. So I layered my plates like this, so a little bit was sticking out when I had that foil paper down on my mats, and then I actually cut the rest of the foil paper that was under the thin cut. But specifically, I wanted you to see how I put that thin cut and those mats together. And I, of course, had my silver foil paper on there. And then I just used my cutter to cut the long length of the pole. And I did 2 poles like that. I also took this pendant thin cut, and it was meant to be, they gave you a lot of words, so it could be like a flagpole and the pendant sticking out to the side, and I'm going to put them across the top. So here I have cut out several pendants from that In Full Bloom paper and the mix-in paper pack, and I'm using this bold marker alphabet stamp set, and I'm going to stamp in intense black ink the words for finish line. That's what I'm putting across the top. And I'm going to be scrapbooking my son-in-law's 10K race that he ran this past fall. I believe it was October or November. And so I've kind of got my pieces cut out here, and you're going to see me lay it out. I used charcoal cardstock across the top and the bottom. And then I used some extra thick green twine that we had from Close to My Heart, and it was like 2 multiple strand twines that were making up that extra thick twine, and I pulled those 2 apart, so I got each multi-twine, I don't know how to describe it. They had like several threads going across, and you'll be able to see it pretty well on the still shots at the end. But I put those through the pendants, and I had punched holes in those pendants as well. And I used this all-purpose mat and my mono air adhesive, and it was kind of nice because then the extra sticky was just on that mat, and I used those on those tiny strips that go across the middle band above and below it. And I'm using my 3D foam tape underneath the pendants, and I'm sticking all of the pictures down. This is my son-in-law, Sebastian. And I have some pictures on the facing page that I'm going to be doing in a minute of my granddaughter and my daughter Waverly as well. There's my pole, and I'm going to tie that string to that pole. I think this would be cute to do with like birthday banners on a birthday page. We also have a new paper pack that's called Cake Day, so it would be really cute if you did like happy birthday across the layout as well. And here I'm securing that extra thick twine with some just some washi tape that I had in my stash. Okay, and then I'm going to take that other piece of twine and put it through my pendants that says finish line. And this is the word line for the right hand side page. And then I'm going to put my mix in paper down and my cardstock again. So this layout came together pretty fast. Of course, it's sped up for you to see it, but it was really an easy one to assemble. This star zip strip that you see was off of one of my mix-in pages, and I thought that made it just a little bit more manly as well. And then I'm going to tie my twine up to the pole for the right hand side and stick that down next to that star border that I have. So you see, I'm just finishing it up like I did the left-hand page. This striped piece was out of In Full Bloom, and I thought that striped piece, the green, went well with all of the pictures because of the grass that you could see, and all of these little strips. When you see the pictures on this page, you'll notice my granddaughter's jacket. It went well with the lagoon in these papers. It just coordinated pretty nice. Okay, and then once again, I used that washi tape to secure that extra thick twine to the back of the layout. And here I have a few more pictures than I actually have spots for pictures, but I'm going to add some of them to the layout, and then others are going to go in flip-flaps. And I started to put these flip-flaps on the far left in some side-loading flip-flaps and make it expand out, but I actually ended up changing that at the very end where you don't see this, and I stamped on one that flipped from the top. And here I'm going to make my own custom-made PML card. So I cut down a 4x6 PML card to a 3x4. That's the yellow one. It was actually lemonade, I think. And then I used the black and white polka dot. It was from the back of the other half of that 4x6 that I cut off. And then I added some of those little strips that were like 1/8 of an inch thick on there as well. And I'm stamping in my Staz-on ink where it says #1 fan, but it didn't still stamp quite as well as I wanted it to, even after I re-inked my Staz-on. So I just went back in, and you'll see in a second, I went back in with my black Sharpie and I went over that, and it looked just fine. So a lot of times when I stamp in black ink, I'll go back over on my paper with my black journaling pen if I need to fill it in. When I used this on the plastic, I was able to use the black Sharpie, and it worked just fine to fill it in. So that's just a little tip for you. So I hope you like how I twisted up this #1 fan stamp and thin cut set to make it a pole on each side and pendants that hung down from the top, and how I twisted up the In Full Bloom paper pack along with my mix-ins to make it a much more manly layout that would work for something like this race that my son-in-law was in. And there you can see the several little strands of thread that go through that twine. I hope you can give me a like if you enjoyed watching this process video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on all the notifications. And if you would leave a sweet comment and share this with your crafty friends, I certainly would appreciate it. Make sure you check out all of the Twisted Sisters over the next 8 days, and I'll share the playlist here and add more videos over the next week.